Like the way she sculpted her brand to ask her customers is brilliant.
I just bawled. I'm making enough to pay the bills at the bridal shop, but I rarely brought a paycheck home myself.
Like you took your knowledge, turned it into something that women like have to have now. All right, happy Tuesday Live, you guys. I am here with Shera. I seriously cannot wait for you to hear her story. Shera, how long have we known each other?
Year and a half?
Year?
Yeah, about a year.
Okay, and her story is so powerful that I wanted to bring her on and introduce you. And then we also have a bonus for you. Bum, bum, bum. So stick around and then we will share that with you towards the end. So Shera, first off, thank you for being here. And why don't you introduce everybody and kind of tell us a little bit about your entrepreneur journey?
I've just always been an entrepreneur. I grew up my dad was his own business owner, so I started working under him. And then I was lucky enough to have very supportive parents. And as soon as I decided what I wanted to do, I told them I want to be a fashion designer, and they said, okay. They didn't tell me I was crazy. They said, okay. And right after high school, I moved straight to San Francisco and attended a trade college for fashion design. I studied mostly, pattern making and development and sewing. And then from that, I went into bridal, just because I knew I wasn't going to stay in a big city, and I wanted to have something I can do from anywhere or from home. So I went into bridal. I did that for 18 years. About 9 of it, I owned my own bridal shop where I did custom design and alterations. And it took me to a place of crazy. It's hard to own your own business, but I had two employees at the time, and I spent more time in that shop than I ever did at home. So from there, I just, after years of being there, I would spend nights awake, just constantly working day after day, and sleeping on the bridal floor, falling asleep at my sewing machine. Like literally, I don't know how I survived without not sewing my fingers off, because there was some days that got kind of sketchy. But after about 8 years of owning that bridal shop, I kind of almost suffered what I kind of call a stroke. I'm not exactly sure if that's what it was, but I had been up for about 2 days straight. My arm just like went crazy. Took me about 2 hours to get filling back in it, and I just started bawling. I was like, I'm 32, I'm killing myself, I'm never home with my family, I don't have time to serve, I don't have time to do anything but be here. And so from there, I just kind of decided I needed to take my life back, and I decided to close my bridal shop. I just ran alterations for about 2 years from there. And then, of course, I'm an entrepreneur. So I opened a boutique with some friends, and after about 1.5 years of that, during that process, I created my hoodies. And when we decided to separate the business, I took the business from the hoodies and rebranded it under 7 Degrees, which is my new brand. And now I'm just rocking it, and I love it because I'm at home all the time, and I can do it from wherever I go. And it just is, I don't know, it's my passion. I love it.
Okay, so there's so much packed into what you just said. Like so many amazing stories from that. And it also explains why you have the most beautiful, colorful wall behind your head.
Yeah, right? That's the creative wall.
All your color swatches. Okay, so let's go back. How many kids do you have? Or did you have when you started?
3 kids, yeah. So I have 3 kids. We have 2 teenagers and a 7-year-old. My second child actually had cancer. I didn't add that to that story, but she had cancer while I owned my bridal shop. So in addition to running a bridal shop, and we were going back and forth for cancer treatment. So we did that for about 3 years of our life. That was not something I would wish upon anybody.
No way.
But it just, kind of took away your your right to choose what you want to do. So at the same time, it kind of made you, for us, it made us realize that we wanted to celebrate life and we wanted to give back. And then I realized as the bridal shop progressed, I just was not able to do what I really actually wanted to do with my life.
Okay, so what gave you the strength to switch that? Because you have money coming in from your bridal shop, right? You're making sales, you've got staff. How did you say, you know what? I'm just going to stop and pivot and do something that actually I can get behind and be excited? Because I see the difference in your face from telling that story and the difference in your face when you talk about your amazing hoodies, which we'll dive into in a little bit. But what was it that gave you the strength to pivot?
Looking back, at the reality of it, is I sat there that night that I had this like health issue and I just bawled. And I was like, I'm not making enough to support the family. I'm making enough to pay the bills at the bridal shop and to pay my employees and pay the taxes and take care of the overhead. But I rarely brought a paycheck home myself. And so I was just literally killing myself. And I mean, between April and October, I saw my family maybe an average of 14 hours a week. And I just, at that moment, I believe in prayer and I would pray over it and I never felt it was right to leave. But at that moment, I was like, hey, I can't do anything that I want to do and what I believe in. And I need to make a decision right now. And I just sat there and I prayed about it. And I just had this amazing, overwhelming feeling that now is the time to make the change. And it was so wonderful. And I called my husband. He's so supportive in everything that I do in my crazy life. And he said, I will never ask you to do that, but I'm so excited for that answer. And at that moment, I felt the weight of the world come off my shoulder because I made the decision to put us first and make a change. And it really was the best decision I've ever made. I loved my bridal shop. I love sewing. I love creating and designing, but I wanted my family to be at the front of it, not the business.
I have such mad respect for you for being able to do that, right? Like not staying in the trenches and keep going and going and knowing that it didn't feel right. And 14 hours a week with your family was not okay, especially when you had one that was sick and you're trying to juggle all these things and keep building your dream, but you knew that this dream might have been off a little bit. So a huge kudos, like how you're able to say, I don't like this, this is not right, pray about it, and then make that decision. And then your husband, rock star, for supporting an entrepreneur wife, right?
100%, yeah.
Okay, so tell me about, I know everybody's going to ask, how's your daughter?
She's good, thank you. 10 years cancer-free.
Hey,
so we are super excited about that. We celebrate as much as we can, and now we give back as much as we can, and it's so wonderful.
Is she a model on your website?
She is. She's wearing my navy and fuchsia hoodie.
Okay, I'm gonna go check it out.
She's like the front page for sure.
As she should be.
Yeah.
And how old is she?
She's 14. She'll be 15 in November, so almost 15.
Okay. So she's the one that takes your earrings.
Yes.
Before we got on, Shera and I were talking about our daughters who borrow our stuff.
Yeah.
We tend to not ever see it again.
Right.
You've got good style. Okay, so talk to me about, so you switched over from, you said you didn't want to do this. How did you know you wanted to start doing hoodies? And then I want to dive into why these hoodies are like crazy amazing.
So after I had stopped sewing with the bridal shop, I decided to do a boutique. So we did that with a friend, and we did that about 1.5 years. And in the process of the boutique, we created the hoodies. So with my technical background, I found the manufacturer, I sourced the fabrics, I did all the pattern making. So it's actually a custom pattern as well. And when we closed the boutique, kind of went our own ways, because I developed the hoodies, it came with me. So I kept ownership of that.
Okay.
And so that's when I rebranded to 7 Degrees and am now developing them on my own. But the patterns are unique. They're just a lot of fun and full of creativity.
Okay, so so wedding dresses, wedding shop owner to hoodies. That's kind of extreme. I'm not gonna lie. Like the two opposite ends of fashion, right?
Right.
Super fancy. This is super informal. But one thing about your hoodies is they actually they're not frumpy.
No.
They don't make you feel like the average hoodie does.
Right.
So I actually want to dive into why you designed them the way that you did.
Yeah. So I mean, in my ideal world, really, every day you find me with a ponytail, hoodie, and probably yoga pants. Like that's my life. Like I love it. It just makes me feel comfortable. And I wanted a hoodie that when you wore it, you still felt feminine. I hate the boxy feel where it's like completely blousy at the waist, or it's really thick at the neck. I like my main focus is full zip hoodies because, you transition from room to room, and I run always cold, like in the car or the movies or at restaurants. I always want to throw a hoodie on, but I hate taking them off over my head. Now we do pullovers, but we started mostly as the full zip just because it transitions. But when I developed the pattern, I developed it more in an hourglass shape. When you go to the store and you buy like just a regular garment, everything is scaled when they go from size to size. It's all scaled in a very even increment. And we all know that you don't grow in even increments. Everybody's shape is different. So my shape, when I created my pattern, is actually more hourglass, and my hips scale differently than my waist. So it actually scales more true to a human's body than what, a paper pattern should be doing.
Yes, and then I want to point out that, so I have a hoodie from a well-known company, I won't say what it is, and it always flips up or it pooches and creates what I'm actually trying to avoid. And your hoodie doesn't do that.
Yeah, and that's one of my main focuses, because when we created this pattern, I did it that way. So when it's, whether it's the full zip or it's a pullover, it actually is meant to sit over the hips, not gather. And then in addition to that, the length of it is actually a little bit longer than the average length. So it will cover the, through the butt. So it covers the places we don't want. So when you are wearing it with yoga pants, you're totally safe.
You're totally covered. Now, as an entrepreneur, I know that we stick our necks out on the line a lot. And like I'm sitting in here in Puerto Rico where it's 100 bajillion degrees outside, right? But whenever I go into a restaurant, I swear it's like 20 degrees. And your hoodie, like I love it. I love how it's designed. I love that the sleeves are long enough so that I can like go undercover at the movie theater when I'm freezing cold. Because it gets so cold out here. And so your hoodies aren't like, I thank you for designing something, taking your previous skills of knowing how to sew. I can't sew, right? I couldn't figure out why I was getting those pooches and those flips and those rolls. Like I didn't understand it.
Right. You
had that knowledge and you turned it into a product that actually serves people instead of, I just want to sell product. I just want to sell product. Like you took your knowledge, turned it into something that women like have to have now because it's what we're looking for. So thank you for doing that.
Thanks. And thanks for mentioning the arms. Actually, that is one of our other features, is that we've actually made a little bit longer than the standard arm as well. Because the one thing that I hate is when I use my thumb holes, because this is such a fun, I mean, you don't have to use them. You don't notice it if you don't use it. But when you use it and you go to like reach for something and it like pulls in the armpit and your arm is like, you avoid that with our hoodies because they have that extra length. So I call them functional arm length.
Functional arm. And yeah, you're right. So you had the stripe one. Show me your stripe thumb again. Right there. So this is the gray one right there. So you can barely even see, if you don't want to use the thumb hole, that it's there.
Yeah.
Nice that it's not a big circle and allows breezes in. I noticed.
And we do extra construction on them. Like I know you can probably, I don't know if you can see it with the video, but like these are all stitched down and they're also double stitched around here. So there's actually extra stitching just to give it some really good durability and lay those seams flat, just so, I don't know, it's just a little bit more comfortable and I don't know, a little bit more polished, I guess.
Yeah, not a little, a lot. A lot. Okay, so to Shop 7 Degrees, what does the 7 degrees stand for?
Oh, cool, thanks. I totally love the idea of like 6 degrees of separation. I didn't like the name 6 degrees,
Okay, wait,
so I did 7.
Explain what the 6 degrees of separation is.
Yeah, so 6 degrees of separation is like you're 6 degrees from anyone or anything you want to do in life. So if you want to meet, you know, I don't even know, now I can't even think of somebody, but if you want to meet like your favorite musician, you're literally 6 people away from it. If you start asking your community, they're going to know somebody and they're going to know somebody and then they're going to know somebody. So it's like 6 degrees. So you can 6 degrees from achieving just about anything that you want. So I like to say that 6 degrees didn't sound right for the company. So we did 7 degrees. So I say you're the 7th degree in like a 6 degree separation world. So like just meaning that I believe in communities and I believe in helping each other and I believe in building this brand itself through word of mouth. And, you know, I know that if I serve my community, they will in turn, you know, serve us back. So we can build this company to where we can be serving more and more people.
You know, I didn't know what it meant actually. So I'm glad that you elaborated on that. But that's funny because when you're like, choose someone famous, I'm like Taylor Swift, right? And Michaela, she was talking at some event this last week and she got up on stage and said, hey, if anybody knows Taylor Swift, let me know. She had someone come up to her and say, hey, I know Taylor Swift's manager. Would you like the introduction? And she's like, what?
For real, right? Right. So
you're right.
It's true. So part of it too is like getting out of your comfort zone and, you know, meeting your neighbor and talking to people and finding out, like, I feel like everybody has a story. We all come from something and, you know, it's all about the community. So I feel like that's kind of where it kind of stemmed from.
Love it. I love it. Like, thank you. I've always been like, well, I wonder what the 7 degrees means.
I know. It doesn't mean it will hold up in the Arctic. I mean, it will under an Arctic zone coat.
Not 7 degrees.
Not 7 degrees weather.
But hey, 4th of July. These are perfect for the 4th of July when it gets to what, like 97, 87, 67.
But then it goes down and it's windy and it's, you know, you just want to like a jacket. And so that's, you know,
yeah.
I mean, they fold well, they trap well, they tie around the waist well, they're good.
You've been to Las Vegas, right?
Yeah.
And when you go anywhere inside, it is extreme freezing.
Yeah.
So these aren't just for fall.
No, winter, all year. Yeah, and the majority of our fabric is a cotton spandex, so it really transitions into seasons really well. So, you know, the cotton itself will hold up in just about it will warm you or it will cool you. We're working with other fabrics as well, but right now we've been mostly on that cotton spandex.
Okay, so I'm going to ask you a couple hard questions.
Okay.
When you were like, all right, I'm going to sell these hoodies, how did you get the strength to put in that first order of your designs? How did the self-doubt, the inadequacy feeling, all that not cripple you from saying, okay, take my money, make these hoodies I think will sell with my designs? What did you do to to not stop?
So I was able to show a lot of people my samples and I got a lot of feedback. I already knew from that they would sell. The scariest part was handing over the money. I already, because that is a leap of faith. Because at that point you have all of this inventory that's about to come in and you start to go, where am I going to sell this? Like, I already know I have an audience for it, but how am I going to reach them? Where am I going to find them? And so that is where, I started to kind of rely on my community and tell people about it. From there, they kind of created their own brand. Like they've just kind of launched from there. And the thing that I started to do after a little while was actually what I call a pre-sale, like an early bird, because by the time the product would come in, most of my inventory was sold out. And so it was like this awesome opportunity after, it took a little while. It took a couple cycles. I'm 21 designs in and a year and a half. So it's a lot. That's a lot to go through. But by the time they came in, like my 2X's, my 3X's, my extra larges, I mean, everything but like extra smalls were sold. And so people were like, but you have no inventory. So I started to open it up as an early bird to say, hey,
good,
you can get into it now and then you're guaranteed it. Because like I just had one that came in 2.5 weeks ago and all I have left is 14 pieces and they're extra small and small.
Woohoo!
I know. And it's like this really like amazing, like, I love being here, but at the same time, it's like, I'm sorry, I don't have it. So it's just like this balance of like introducing that to your community to say, you guys, if you want this design, buy it on pre-order, it's guaranteed for you. But at the same time, I'm going to be bringing in more inventory, but it's available to sell all the way up until it's in. And so once it's gone, because now the production's done. So.
Okay, I love, you brought in two tactics. The first one is you were actually testing your product, right?
Yeah.
Like, hey,
right.
What do you think about this? Hey, what do you think about that? And then you had that confidence instead of just saying, oh, I just hope it sells. I hope people like it. You were actually asking the people. Now, when you say your community, did you have a big online community?
When I opened 7Degrees, I brought over a couple people. I mean, some people joined me from my boutique when we closed that. So I started with about 400. Over the last 6 months, well, really about 4 months, we're just over 1,300 in that.
So you didn't have like hundreds of thousands of followers.
Right. No. And I mean, I have one on each, but I also have an email list. So that my email list actually was bigger than my followers. And so I would just say, hey, I have this new product out. And, they had either bought from us before or, they, signed up because they, wanted more information. And so my email list actually served me the best. And now my community online is starting to grow.
Nice. Okay. Can I ask you, what was your email list size?
When I started, about 1,200, and now it's just over 2,000.
That's so exciting.
Yeah.
I love that it's not like, oh, I have 500,000 followers. Yes, you want to eventually get there, but you're able to create a business.
Yeah.
Based on 1,000, 1,500 followers, which is
right.
So magical, right? And then when did you start introducing those pre-sales?
I started introducing them actually May. This is my second. Well, I mean, Hoodie wise, I have about 6 of them that have gone through a pre-order process, like but as far as online ahead of time, otherwise I would buy them first and then post them and say they're coming in. But it actually worked out really well with the pre-order because I was able to know which ones were my stronger sellers. And so from that, I was able to put in more inventory for those ones and then keep my other inventories lower. So it worked out really well.
Like it's brilliant. It's brilliant because you're like, okay, I know I have more extra larges. Like you're dealing with sizes, right?
Right.
you don't want to be stuck with 10,000 extra smalls because you thought that you had a lot of people. By doing the pre-sales, you're able to order exactly what people want.
Right, which has helped out a lot.
And then how long do they have to wait to get their product?
Depending on when they come in on that pre-sale cycle, it's usually about 6 weeks.
6 weeks.
So it's not long. I mean, it's really not long at all.
No.
But at the same time, it's like, if it's in stock, so if somebody bought something that, like maybe they bought one pre-order and one in stock, we will ship the in-stock one now, and then when the pre-order comes in, and we don't charge extra shipping or anything like that. So it's
really nice.
It works out pretty good.
Well, Zulily, you know Zulily, they're like 4 or 5 weeks in shipping.
Oh yeah, I didn't even think of that, but yeah.
So I know a lot of people are like, I'm afraid to do pre-sales because people have to wait. But it's really, talk about what you do to tell your people thank you for ordering a pre-sale. Don't you give up?
So on each of the items, you know, it just gives like a description of, you know, hey, this is an early bird sell. So I actually sell it at a lower price on the pre-order. So once it's ordered, I give it another week and then I put it back to the regular price. So on my site itself, I don't discount the products unless I'm already sold out of several sizes. So you won't see them on sale and that at that point, they're the sizes that the majority of people wouldn't be, you know, I mean, of course, there's definitely still some smalls in the world, but the main sizes, the majority of the sizes that are purchased are sold out. So that's the only time I put the product on sale. So you get it on sale during the pre-order, or you get it on sale if something's sold out, and you may or may not have your size at that point.
Okay, so you're rewarding your customers for being on an email list and ordering beforehand. So you're spoiling them, saying, hey, I love you so much that I'm going to give you a discount if you order now.
Right.
Then they get to order exactly what they want. And then if they don't do it, so you're creating that urgency, right? Order now to save money. Yeah. And then the scarcity just naturally happens because, sorry guys, we literally sold out. We can't get you another one. And so it spurs on these like, oh my gosh, I need to order, right?
Yeah, right. And the other thing is too, if you're on my email list, you actually get an extra discount that's sent out in the email that I don't publish anywhere else.
That's so cool.
It just is kind of one of those things that just, you know, because your email is so strong and so important. I probably could do a better job at emailing. I do email, just not consistently. I need to be better at that. But my community kind of understands that, I think. So far it's been working out, but we'll get better. Well, I've got something coming for you, by the way, for creating evergreen emails for your customers to help you with that. Oh, okay.
So hang tight, that's coming.
Work for it. Yeah.
Okay, perfect. All right, so next, what, I know in the beginning we said we had something really fun. Do you want to share that right now?
The gift, the offer? Yeah. Awesome. So if you're watching, you are, we're going to gift you $10. It's basically a $10 cash certificate that you can use on our website on sell items or on early bird, or just basically there's no limit on it. So you can only use one coupon for the transaction.
And the coupon, they have to leave a message down below and we will shoot the coupon code for them, because we don't want this to be published to the whole world. We just want it for people that are listening to this. And so you have to leave a comment down below to get that discount code, and it is so worth it.
Yeah. So it will give you $10 off your order. And if you order more than 50, it gives you free shipping. So that will stack. So it gives you $10 off and free shipping if you order more than 50.
And if you do a pre-order, you are spoiling. This is so good. Kate, will you stand up and show your hoodie? I want to show mine too.
Yeah. It's not zipped right now. So all of our full zip hoodies have a double zipper. Can you see that?
Oh yeah.
So like, it really is functional. Like if you're sitting down in like an airplane and you just want to give yourself a little bit more room, but they're totally stretchy. So it's all spandex. They're all stretch.
And they don't like not stretch back. Like they go back to the form.
Oh yeah, they go back because it's cotton and it's a cotton spandex. So it, that. And then all of them have like the double features. So you get your thumbs. Some of them have cuffs, some of them don't, just depending on the design. But you always get your thumbs. You always get the length. You always get a lined hood. Just, I don't know. My thought on it was like you do, you live your life in comfort and color. So celebrate life in color and comfort.
All right, so here's the one that I have. And I've actually always wondered why there were two zippers, because sometimes I struggle with that second bottom zipper. Jared calls me special. But this is how this two blend, and I love it because it makes my waist look smaller. I'm just gonna put that out there because I think sometimes I have like a straight boy's figure, and this makes me look like I have more of a waist. So kudos to you for this higher cut, or the higher color.
Thank you.
So
I'm going to point out on yours. Yours is the Empire, because it has that split. So all of these designs will, it's cut below the Empire, so it actually will never cut across the bust line, even if it's busty. It will sit below the bust, so it will never cut across the bust line, because that drives me crazy. As a seamstress, I look at that and I'm just like, you're cutting like your assets in half. Like it does not look pretty. So we want to accent that, your body is your shape, and it just helps give you a really, really great figure.
Okay, so rumor has it you've got sweats coming?
Yes, stay tuned. For sure, we have joggers and skirts coming. I'm so excited. I'm waiting for my samples now. They came, they needed some tweaking. So.
And you ship all over, including Puerto Rico?
Including Puerto Rico. we don't limit you out.
Yeah. All right, I'm gonna get on your email list so I know when those are coming. I want those, like the skirts. I want those for sure. For sure.
On our like Instagram stories and stuff like that, we run like, hey, which fabric should I use? And so I like I said, I believe in the community and I want feedback, so I ask for it a lot.
I love it. I love it. And you've shared so much. For everybody that's watching, like I hope you were taking mad notes. Shera just, like the way she sculpted her brand to ask her customers to get the pre-orders, to know exactly what they want is brilliant. And I love it. Okay, so before we go, Shera, will you say, or just tell everybody one free online tool that you have used, or I guess it doesn't have to be free, but one online tool that you absolutely are loving to help grow and communicate with your customers?
I'm going to say Facebook. I love Facebook. I feel like through Facebook, I can say, you guys share this. If you've got a hoodie, send me a picture. Share this with somebody, tag a friend, and it's helped really good. It's helped me communicate with my customers in addition to putting a face behind the brand, because sometimes I think the emails are fantastic, but sometimes you want to know just a little bit more personality. And I think video does that for you. In addition to that, it's instant. Like people can message you right then. They don't have to wait for an email to come back. So we're working on building a Facebook group. I've got the page started, but I haven't opened it up yet. It's going to be called 7 Degrees of Life. And that's going to be our community where we talk about, like, again, like us, we struggle through cancer with a toddler and running a household, running 2 businesses. It's just, so I have a friend who is a military wife. She's going to contribute to that. Like, I feel like it's just going to be, an addition to bringing in that community. So Facebook, I just love Facebook.
When's that launching?
Hopefully the end of this week. We've got content started and we're just getting everything in place, and then we'll announce it.
Okay. Will you send me that link when you have it so I can share it with everybody too?
You bet.
That would be awesome. Perfect. Okay. Well, thank you so much for sharing your journey, getting vulnerable, letting know how sometimes business is hard and you just have to reassess it. and then you go after your true talent and your passion. And like the way that you light up when you talk about your product, Shera, is so fun. Like your eyes are just beaming with excitement to get out. And it is just, I love being a part of it and watching you grow. So thank you.
Thank you. No, I love it. I do. I love it. So thank you so much.
Good, good. And guys, leave a comment down below to get that discount code for Shera's shop. As she also told you, you can stack it with over 50 and free shipping and the pre-sales. But the pre-sales are very limited, so you want to make sure that you are on her email list. Get on her email list so that you can find out when these things are rolling out. And we've got sweats and skirts coming soon.
Coming. Not yet, but coming.
Coming soon. Awesome. Okay, thank you so much.
Thank you. Appreciate it.